This shrimp cracker costs $1.50, and this fish salad costs less than $1. My team and I have traveled all the way here to Cambodia's biggest city on a mission to show you street food you won't find anywhere else. Right here we have a porridge with snails, and by the end of this video, we'll take on a street food that costs $330. Based on per capita income, that would be like someone in the USA spending over $8,000 on one meal.
But that's all we have.
But first, a dish known as crab brain noodles here in Phnom Penh's Central Market. Do crabs have brains?
I think it's a literal translation.
Meet my food adventuring partner, Soria, a Phnom Penh native who dedicates her social media to showcasing Cambodian cuisine to the world. Over here, she has a little bowl. That's not actually brains. I believe that would be the boiled up crab fat.
Yes.
Yes. While crab brain is the ticket-selling name, this bowl of noodles is full of surprises. First, the base layer, blanched bean sprouts and shredded morning glory. Then the carbs, a handful of rice noodles. Now a parade of proteins. 2 slices of steamed pork loaf, succulent roasted pork, a fish cake, and half a freaking pig toe. Next, a dollop of crab brain, followed by more morning glory, banana flour, and sesame flour. Finally, treasures hidden in the broth, blood cake, tofu, straw mushrooms, and okra. All of this costs only $2.50. I think we should try something from in the bowl before we get to the noodle.
Okay, sure.
How about that blood cake? That's a good blood cake. A bit solid and crumbly, lovely texture, and very salty and savory.
It's giving me tofu, but then the more you eat it, it's a little bit livery, I would say.
You say it's giving me tofu? Oh my God, you're so Gen Z. On the periphery here, she has all of her food just laid out in the open. You can look up here and see different sausages, beef balls, intestines, unlaid chicken eggs, a variety of different noodles. This is what I like about Southeast Asia. It's not even 8 a.m. and people are eating stuff like noodles.
Yes.
For this, what do you recommend? We mix it up and just take a bite?
Mix it up and maybe a squeeze of lime.
A little bit of lime squeeze. Oh.
That's good.
That's a great flavor. I can't believe how much variety there is in here. There's like multiple different kinds of meats, sausage. There's a random slice of okra. I'm putting that back where I found it. How about those toes? Basically half of a hoof right here.
Cheers.
Sure. That's awesome. Pig foot in the morning. This is epic.
I think it's very good. It's like fatty, if you like that fatty collagen texture.
I am that fatty collagen texture.
That's why you look young. You don't look 40.
I'm technically 39.
Oh, sorry.
Soon we'll dig our chopsticks into Phnom Penh's legendary dry noodles. Would you say this is one of the top 3 most popular noodles in Cambodia?
I would say top 1.
But first, right now we're in Central Market. Could you tell me a little bit about this place?
Central Market in Cambodia is known as Sa Khmer. It's basically a heritage because this market has been built during the colonial times in 1930s.
The Central Market was the biggest market in Asia at the time of its grand opening in 1937. Today, it remains a living monument in Phnom Penh with a striking 85-foot high dome with 4 sprawling wings filled with thousands of stalls and goods. Seafood, poultry, fresh, cooked, sweet, savory, whatever you crave, Central Market is the place to find it. Let's talk about what's in front of us right now. This is Hut Deu. In Vietnam, Cambodia's neighbor to the east, Hut Deu Nam Vang is a popular noodle dish that originated here in Cambodia, and it's known for its thin, chewy rice noodles.
This is called Quy Tiêu Phnom Penh. This is a Phnom Penh Cambodian breakfast staple.
It starts with steamed pig stomach, a pork ball, shrimp, pork liver, intestines, wontons, noodles, and bean sprouts, all blanched and tossed in a bowl. Coriander and fried garlic join as flavor enhancers. You can opt for a traditional quy tiêu with broth or get it dry with the broth on the side.
First, I would recommend to put a little broth to loosen up the noodles.
All right, loosen up, guys. Just relax.
And then you want to put a little of soy sauce. Then you can put this, a little bit. This is black pepper. If you don't like sugar, then you don't have to put it.
I want sugar for breakfast.
And my favorite is this pickled chili. You eat it with every bite of your meat. I do a little squeeze of lime for myself.
Okay, at some point, do we eat the food?
So now we mix it all in.
Oh my gosh, the noodles look immaculate. They look perfect. So I'm gonna grab some noodles now.
Yes,
Cheers.
cheers. And then you take the chili and put it.
Oh, whoa. insanely spicy and sour. When you bite it, man, you just get a gush of heat and extreme sourness. I feel it all the way from my mouth radiating into my stomach and maybe even my small intestine. So I've got some pork meatball. Give it a little bit of a dip in the fermented soybean sauce. Get a chili on there. Oh, that's really good. This fermented sauce, it's not peanuts, but it does provide a nutty flavor. Very savory, a nice deep nuttiness. But man, taking on these noodles in the dry form, it's just my favorite because they're not getting saturated in that broth. They keep a nice firm texture to them. And instead of soaking up the broth, they're soaking up the pepper and the sugar, the fermented soybean sauce, all that together. The only thing left to do is to cool it down with some broth. Clink. That is a yummy broth. Is that a pork bone broth?
Yes.
I live in Vietnam. It's not far from here. And you can see some of the overlap between the two countries. In the noodles, in the fresh herbs, in the different meat selection, and in the broth. The broth, they've taken so much time and care. It's so fatty and porky, maybe a little bit of MSG.
Always.
All the things that make life worth living.
Exactly.
If you're used to noodles and pig organs for breakfast, how about a more adventurous option? Soon, we'll be trying a porridge brimming with dozens of snails. I want to back up though and ask a little bit more about this insane city. You know, years ago when I came here the first time, maybe 10 to 12 years ago, they called this the Wild West of the East. As Cambodia's capital and biggest city, Phnom Penh has a population of over 2 million, nearly 10 times bigger than the next biggest city, Siem Reap. Locals come here in pursuit of opportunities, leaving the countryside in favor of the only major city that may offer them a new life. This is our final dish in the market today. Right here we have a porridge with snails. What are your thoughts on snails?
I love snails. This is a pretty common ingredient.
So nobody here is squeamish about snails?
No.
Our porridge begins with bean sprouts, sawtooth coriander, shredded banana flowers, water lily stems, and flowers.
What does it taste like?
Pollen? Water hyacinth and sespan flowers are two of the many edible flowers commonly found in Cambodian cuisine. The porridge purveyors add some white lead tree leaves, a generous heap of snails, and 2 ladlefuls of porridge with a few more snails on top. I'm gonna start with just the porridge itself and then work my way up to the snails. Wow, I've been blown away. It's really good. It tastes like the porridge was made maybe with a chicken stock.
Yes.
It has a fattiness to it and then a ton of lemongrass.
We call it krương, so it's a mixture of lemongrass, kaffir leaf, and different types of vegetables.
Krương, a spice paste that forms the base of many Khmer dishes. It's commonly made by finely chopping kaffir lime leaves, golongo, turmeric, lemongrass, shallots, and garlic, then grinding them together using a heavy mortar and pestle. Later today, you'll see this potent paste slide its way into countless Khmer dishes. I'm starting to think everything has krương. Like, do you have krương ice cream? But first, those snails are calling my name. That's so good.
I love it. It's a very comfort food.
This is like, it's winter, I've got a cold.
Exactly.
I'm like, babe, go out and get me some snail porridge, please. Those snails have such a nice texture to them. They're a little bit chewy, but not super chewy. It tastes like they've been braised or boiled for a while until they become a little bit more tender. Those are some of the best snails I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
This is $2. Most of the food in the market, I would say, is affordable. Why do you think it is that food prices are so cheap here in Cambodia?
Well, I think it's more affordable because the ingredients are already easily found. You know, it's all local ingredients.
Cambodia offers abundant and diverse sources of food. Tropical fruits like durian, mangoes, bananas, and coconuts. Aromatic herbs like those we saw piled into our krương. In regards to protein, there's the typical poultry, beef, and pork. But you can also find insects and sometimes even some grilled rats. Part of our focus today is the impressive range of prices that you can find in Phnom Penh when it comes to street food. By the end of today, we're going to be going to a restaurant that has a menu item that costs $330.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's insane, especially in a country where the average yearly salary is less than $1,500. That's basically 2 to 3 months of somebody's income. Is that something that people in Cambodia would ever be able to afford? The answer is waiting for us at a restaurant known as Malice, with the most famous chef in Cambodia and his special roasted pork recipe. But first, Cambodia's controversial national dish known as amok.
When we talk about amok, we often refer to fish amok, a thick curry being steamed in their banana leaf with cream and lemongrass paste.
Celebrity chef Nak is known for venturing across Cambodia in search of traditional recipes, bringing them to the international spotlight through 2 award-winning cookbooks. Right now, we're at a local eatery about to make amok. The recipe starts with familiar krung ingredients: lemongrass, garlic, shallots, turmeric, wild ginger, galangal, and kaffir lime leaf, joined by coconut milk and water, all swirling in a blender.
Some people argue that this is or that it isn't the national dish of Cambodia. Would you say it's a national dish?
Not yet.
Amok is controversial because it was never actually officially voted as the country's national dish. Rather, it seems the influence of travelers' taste for this unique delight pushed amok to this position.
Deciding on what should be our national dish, I think it's still in the progress. Because you know why? It is so difficult because there are so many and so different and so diverse too.
The chef cracks 2 eggs in a tray, beats them, and pours in the flavor-packed smoothie. He enriches it with sugar, chicken bouillon powder, fish sauce, fish meat, and more coconut milk. Next, the cooking vessels. Square banana leaves are pinched into little bowls with toothpicks. The chef lays down the foundation with julienne grape morinda leaves, and he fills each bowl with the prepared mixture.
Why do travelers coming to Cambodia think the national dish of Cambodia is amok?
Because it has all the components that make Cambodian food very different to others. The fish, especially freshwater fish, provide a lot of proteins to Cambodian in general for many years. And then the coconut cream and the presentation steaming in the banana leaf is also something that culturally we do.
The steaming hot amok cups receive a final touch with even more coconut milk, a shot of palm oil, julienne kaffir lime leaf, and bell pepper. Time to dig in.
What we best to do is to go all the way to the bottom, and what I expect to see is the leaves at the bottom.
Oh, yes.
We're supposed to taste the lemongrass paste, but also the sweetness from the coconut cream.
Cheers. Oh my God, I am blown away. Everything you said, it's so accurate. It is so fragrant. I just love the aromatics. In order to get food to taste good in the US, 90% of the time they add butter, mayonnaise, or cheese. Something that has a lot of calories. And this is so fragrant, so aromatic. You just taste it all the way up to the top of your head with those amazing herbs inside. I love it.
Let's try with the rice.
All right, let's try with the rice.
The coconut cream, it's so creamy, it's making that fish so soft and tender. And then even just those thin strands of kaffir lime leaf offer a different zesty freshness on top. That's interesting because they're using very powerful flavors here, but they're all working together, like the Avengers.
This is what we call harmonies of flavors. And this is one of the biggest components when it comes to Cambodian cuisine.
The foundation of Cambodian cuisine is built on the Khmer's 2,000-year-old culinary heritage, which heavily relies on rice, freshwater fish, coconut milk, fresh herbs, and spices. Over centuries, Cambodia has assimilated dry spices, curry, and chili pepper, introduced by Indian and Portuguese traders, while pastry and fine dining elements were learned from French colonizers.
Certain countries have done a great job marketing themselves. Thailand has pad thai or tom yum. Vietnam has the banh mi or the pho. So what separates Cambodian food from the surrounding countries?
If it's a technical answer, I would say krung is unique to us.
So you know, our neighboring country been using almost the same ingredients, but not necessarily all ingredients that we have in krung. Go ahead, enjoy.
Good one.
But we also have food really so much based on the regional, seasonal, and people cook a lot from the memories. In a family, our parents might teach us the same ways of cooking, but not necessarily that the siblings produce the same dishes. That's the differences help me to would love to explore more.
Well, listen, I finished my amok cup. How's your looking there?
I'll pack it home.
Oh, okay.
No, you were cheating. You ask us questions and you keep eating.
Oh yeah, that's why I love this show. I get to interview and then just eat the whole time. From here, we're going to one of the most expensive dishes that we can find in Cambodia.
Okay.
Because we're going to be trying a pig that's roasted whole that costs $330.
The high-end restaurant Malice celebrates Cambodian traditional cuisine by using solely fresh, organic ingredients with no chemical seasonings or marinades, which means, for better or worse, no MSG. The captain here, culinary author, hospitality entrepreneur, and multi-international award winner, Chef Lu Mang.
Hello,
Put her there.
how are you?
I'm very happy to be here. I'm very good. I gotta say, initial commentary. This is perhaps the most compact rotisserie pig I've ever seen in my life. It's very small. But my wife always says, good things come in small packages. Why does she say that?
Prior to my arrival, The pig was marinated with soy sauce, chicken powder, sugar, and black pepper. Then it was slowly roasted for the last 3 hours.
I'm curious about the size. Is it a suckling pig?
Yes, we call it a milky pig. It's about 7.5 months. The reason for that size is because the best part of it is the skin.
I know what you're talking about.
Not only did this piglet only ever drink mother's milk, but its mother only ever ate high-quality organic plants like banana trees and potato leaves. The result? Exceptional meat quality that needs minimal preparation to shine.
So we've gone on to the next step here. You're putting on a sauce.
Yeah, it's a green to make it more thick. We can continue layer and layer to make the caramel.
Oh my God, this sounds amazing.
While the piggy continues to roast and baste with layers of krung seasoning, Chef Lumeng is whipping up a food that could compete for Cambodia's national dish. It's nicknamed Cambodian ratatouille, but the locals know it as
Sam lo coco.
Some law coco.
In the old days, we got sam lo palai maroi muk.
It's a good idea to shorten it.
in a pot. Chef Lumeng stir-fries some pork ribs with oil and krung. Then he adds a splash of fish sauce, a hint of fermented fish, and palm sugar. Next, long beans, pumpkin, young jackfruit, papaya, and Cambodian eggplant join the party. Lumeng lets it boil until it softens before adding even more ingredients. Chunks of fish meat, moringa leaves, and vegetable hummingbirds, followed by chicken powder. Finally, coconut milk enriches the whole pot.
Oh my gosh, it is very gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna start with the fish. A very different experience from the amok, of course.
Yeah.
Not creamy, but just a nice, thick, savory stew. The fish is very delicate, very dainty. I love it. I'm gonna try the pork rib now. Oh, I love that texture. A little soft, but a little firm. It's got enough bite to it. You can peel it off of the bone. I love how aromatic and fresh and just powerful the flavors are so far in everything I've eaten today.
That's the krung.
I'm starting to think everything has krung. Like, do you have krung ice cream?
Coming too.
Maybe next time. I'm curious about your perspective on how the traditions of food in Cambodia have changed throughout the last 100 years, especially through the Khmer Rouge.
The Khmer Rouge regime took over Cambodia 4 years immediately after the Vietnam War. With the aim of establishing a classless society, they implemented extreme policies, including the abolition of private property and urbanization. They destroyed religious sites, burned books, historical artifacts, and led the largest genocide in Cambodia's history.
The history of the food started from the Khmer Emperor. Traditionally, it's really simple. The krung is a big influence by Indian. During the French cuisine days, the gourmet part coming in. So this is continually grown up to the Khmer Rouge time. But during that, a lot of recipe been developed without a choice. No more luxury products, so they cook from the courtyard. So that's some of their recipe. It's not about loss, it's also created.
I think that's a brilliant perspective. A perspective I've not heard before. Yeah, it's not about loss, it's just that through time, no matter the time period, changes have taken place. There have been influences for various reasons, and the cuisine has evolved and changed into what it needed to be at that time.
Yes, you are eating for survive, and today we are eating to enjoy.
Amazing. Thank you for your answers. But right now,
here we go.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm excited. So he's going at the neck, and he told me previously, step one is to just remove the skin and just go for the skin. Ooh. That's not just skin, that's skin, that's meat, that's everything. There's not much left underneath that. Cheers.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's like butter. This is some of the thinnest pig skin I've ever had. It is so thin, absolutely thin and crispy. It disintegrates in your mouth. And then it's just like a pork wagyu underneath.
Yes, you're right.
This perfect blend of protein and fat melting on my tongue. If I die tonight, I'll be like, At least I ended on a high note. Oh, I really can't believe it. The meat's almost sweet, naturally sweet. I gotta say, top 3, maybe top 2 pigs in my life, maybe top 1. It's a real good pig.
You know, usually pork, they have that porky aftertaste, but this one is just like smooth.
It melts in your mouth.
One time I had a suckling pig in Guangzhou, and it looked amazing. And then I took a bite, and I was like, thanks. One bite's good. It was just so gamey. But this is just something truly magnificent. So how much of it is its mother and its good Cambodian DNA and its pure diet of milk, and how much of it is you?
Well, the key ingredient, 80% are important. So we're finishing it nicely because if we take a few hours like this to roast, it's really important for us to do.
You need to take your time with it. This is a rib. I mean, come on. This is wild. I can't believe it. I'm curious, how is it possible to have a $330 entree in Cambodia?
The whole pig, yes, $380 over dollars. But if you're going to share with 10 people, so it's like your medium and average price for a dinner. The important is they want to be surprised or their family or their guests. They will offer things like that for memories. Like instead of a big birthday cake, this is the birthday cake.
Right.
Super cool.
Since the last time I was here, it just seems like Cambodia and Phnom Penh especially is just growing like crazy. There's high rises sprouting up everywhere. It just seems like there's been a lot of economic growth. It seems like this would be part of that. From the time that you've been involved with Malice, have you seen more premium or high-end restaurants popping up in Phnom Penh?
It is more and more, especially the last few years. The people are looking for that type of dining experience. It's not only the food, it's the whole ambient, the story.
We already passed the survival stage. People are looking into not only eat to fulfill our stomachs, but the experience, the memories, but also the learning the culture. That's why we create an experience that people can learn about Cambodia through the food angle.
Beautiful.
If you love Indian food, then you're gonna love our new channel, Best Ever Food India. Subscribe now for weekly videos showcasing the most unique street food from around the country.
Are you a fan of blood cake?
I'm okay. I like the texture.
What's that mean, I'm okay? Are you a fan of my show? I'm okay.
No.
You a fan of blood? I'm okay.
The vegetable add a nice crunch.
Absolutely. What kind of vegetable is that?
In English, I don't know.
Say it in Khmer.
No, this is the cuốn.
Dude, that's your way out whenever you don't know something. Be like,
okay,
I
thank you.
only know it in my language. I'm not saying that there needs to be a national dish. I'm from the USA. I don't think that we have a national dish, although most people, especially people outside of the USA, would assume that our national dish is
Burger?
the burger. Boom, guys, a whole video